I'm John Seacott, Executive Editor of the Brewer Magazine, and welcome to another edition of the Brewer Magazine podcast. Be sure you're checking us out at brewermag.com and making sure you're subscribing either on Spotify or YouTube as we give you business and brewing insights every single day and every single week here on the podcast as well. Well, it has been going now for 2 years, the inaugural Skunkworks Lounge contests at CBC, 6 different breweries, including Parish, Imprint, Humble Sea, Fair State, and Highland Park, along with Mountains Walking, who won this contest by using innovative hop solutions from Abstrax Hops, which is doing a lot of cutting edge type of things by using hops to make extracts and oils. And last year, it was once again Mountains Walking picking up the People's Choice, as you can vote on this at the CBC event on the trade show floor. And they're going to be doing it again in Indianapolis as we take a look at what is going to be going on with this contest, including you as a brewer can involve yourself in this upcoming Skunkworks Lounge contest. It's a great opportunity to be able to showcase what you are doing with cutting edge hop extracts. And we welcome in Eric and Gus from Mountains Walking Brewery, along with Ross from Abstrax Hops. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Awesome. Doing good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time here on the Brewer Magazine podcast to chat it up with us a little bit about some of the innovations that are going on, and just, being able to talk to both a hop supplier and a brewery and talk about, the great things that are going on in brewing. First off, Eric and Gus, why don't you guys introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your brewery and kind of the background on how you guys have gotten to where you are today.
I guess I'll start. I started Mountains Walking Brewery about 10 years ago here in Bozeman, Montana. Been in the beer industry probably about 20-some years now, mostly as a brewer, but here that's been kind of a learning experience, starting a small business, and here we are 10 years later. We're still alive and strong. We obviously went through some challenges through the COVID era, and I see breweries kind of evolving from breweries to more hospitality. So we're really focused with our tasting room, trying to engage with customers. We love working with Ross and Abstrax because kind of being a small brewery, we have no economy of scale, but what we do have is creativity and an ability to try different styles. So we've done almost different unique styles of beer in those 10 years. And we're working with Abstrax and Ross. It's been really great going into a different realm, like cutting edge kind of stuff that I don't really know too much about, but we see it in our products. We've done the Skunkworks. We won it a couple of years in a row, and we want to keep working with them. And I find it really fun to try new things. I know the German beer background. I've worked at German breweries where you brew the Pilsner every day. So much. I love a Pilsner, but we're a different brewery. And I also started a new brewing company. It's called Devco a few years ago, and that's been really fun. I've spent a lot of time in Japan growing up. My brother's Japanese, grew up in Tokyo. And we've also experimented a lot with rice beers, sushi rice, malted rice, different types of things. And it's cool to keep moving forward, keep trying new things. And Eric's been with us for a couple of years, and he's done amazing beers with Abstrax and working with different hops as well. So yeah, I'll move it on to him now.
Hey, what's up? I'm Eric. I'm the head brewer for Mountains Walking, New Hokkaido, and then we have a few other kind of side projects as well that I do the formulation for. Been at Mountains Walking for a little over 3 years now.
Sorry, Eric, I should have said 3.
Okay,
the years go by so fast.
A little over 3 years. Previous to that, I had a pretty long stint in Asia brewing, and then long story short, COVID happened, kind of bounced around a little bit. Was in my parents' hometown, Bend, Oregon, and then ended up in Bozeman, Montana. And first and foremost, definitely say I'm a hop forward brewer, and then while working here, we've definitely been kind of our strategy with the formulation is making stuff that's innovative, memorable drinking experiences, and also beers that you just welcome the next sip and hopefully welcome the next pint as well. And
Awesome.
try to redefine kind of what a classic might look at in 2025 and moving forward.
And you guys have had the opportunity to work with Abstrax Hops quite a bit. Ross, tell us a little bit about the company. And it's been, we're happy to have you as an advertiser with Brewer Magazine as well. So we appreciate you guys and being able to exactly what Eric and Gus are talking about, innovation in all the different aspects of the what goes into a beer. What's Abstrax doing that is pushing things forward?
I think a lot. We really, I think I always like to say that we're a technology company that produces tailored solutions for the industry. And that's a very broad way of saying that where we see gaps or need on the brewer side, we're really innovating products to solve for those problems and not really considering anybody else in the equation, which is really a different way of thinking in the industry. So we see ourselves as empowering artists with new pigments with which to paint and new means of conveyance, and at the same time adding value to that process for them so that those pigments don't bleed them dry, and canvas for stretching doesn't either. So I'm the brand director at Abstrax Hops, and I founded the division. I went to the Siebel, have Siebel and brewing as my background. Never worked a day in my life in a brewery. Actually became a soda pop maker, and one night making soda pop, just had a kind of pipe dream moment where I wondered if advanced products could function in the same way as some of the extracts I was working with, mainly with regards to their quality and flowability and expectation, kind of all of it. And, it took about 8 years to get it where it is today, and I'm super, super thankful to have partners like Mountains Walking, to see the engagement that we're getting, and honestly, to taste beers that are just rad. Whether or not you can tell it has our stuff in it, it makes rad beer, and it puts meat back on the bone for brewers to make a little bit more money and do cool stuff. So that's what Abstrax is about. We're here to function at the behest and at the interest of brewers and nobody else. We don't own hop farms. We're not beholden to the plant. We're here to make it better for everyone.
Yeah, and that is pretty neat. And you guys have kind of showcased yourself at the last few CBCs, and CBC Indianapolis 2025 is on its way, and that's what we're talking about, is the Skunkworks Lounge. What was the genesis of this, and what is it for those that maybe are heading to Indianapolis this year and haven't had a chance to see it at the previous CBCs?
For sure. So this will be our third year doing it. I guess we call it our third annual. Started 2 years ago as we really came to market, and we're really just trying to have a way to showcase both the products, but the really talented folks using the products and how they are applying them. So it started as just asking our friends that we work with, that we respect, to make the coolest beer they could and submit it to us and have a booth judge by the community at CBC. Just a best in show, cash prize, a goofy trophy, bragging rights, kind of all the stuff. And we've done that for the past 2 years. Mountains Walking has won both years against unbelievably stiff competition.
Yeah.
They're coming into year 3. So the winner gets to come in as the incumbent for the next year. And we were having so much fun doing it over the past 2 that we decided that we wanted to expand it out to a larger group, make it more inclusive, invite more people in. So instead of a core group of 5 plus the incumbent, we expanded it out to 20 and have been doing. There's a series of videos and reels coming about the making of these beers, and then we will be judging them internally and doing kind of a tournament style bracket, moving folks forward to the final round at CBC, and to make it even more inclusive to folks that, again, maybe haven't made it to CBC, don't have the chance to. Maybe we haven't had a conversation face to face. Now we don't know how much they love our stuff. We have invited any Brewers Association member, any brewery that is a Brewers Association member, to participate, make a beer using Abstrax solutions, put it up on Untappd between, I believe, December 15th and February 15th. Don't quote me on that. Fix that in post if we can. But at the end of that, the Wildcard, the beer with the highest score off Untappd, will come in as a wild card to play at the big show at CBC in Indianapolis. And it's a pretty cool opportunity for us to see a broad range of applications and a bunch of different geography, make it super inclusive, really encourage people to swing for the fences. So we're very excited for this year. That is the gist of the Skunkworks and what's happening this year for Indianapolis.
Nice. Yeah, I'll update you on those dates. I got the release in front of me. Registration ongoing right now. It closes December 15th. For that wild card spot, you have to have your Untappd listing by December 20th, and public voting goes from January 13th to February 15th, with the winner being announced on March 11th, and then, of course, onward to CBC. So a very cool idea. And like you said, this is an opportunity for you guys to get into being able to be face to face with a lot of breweries on the trade show floor. And
it's been wild, to be completely honest. We have been completely floored by the response and support and interest. Every year we've done it. Last year was a fever pitch. We had a really prime placement for a hospitality lounge that you basically had to walk by the booth to get your badge. And we ran out of one of the beers submitted before the show even opened. So, we're going heavier this year, but the response has been awesome. And it's, always a rad opportunity to have these conversations face to face with people about brewing as a means of conveyance and the art and artistry of what they're doing and how that crosses over into like sound business practices as well. So, CBC is always a really perfect setting for those conversations. And I think like what we're doing in that lounge fosters those conversations and creates a space for those conversations. And I think that's why we've invested so heavily in expanding this program and including as many people as possible, is that dialogue is like more important now maybe than ever. I was actually just up at Fast Fashion yesterday interviewing Matt and talking to them about their Skunkworks stuff, and got off on a broader conversation about how the industry has gone through a phase of proving itself, right? Like this hockey stick and then proving the growth, whatever. And he said, I think we're past that. And like my kind of retort was, are we past that, or are we now at the point where it has to prove itself more than ever? And so like creating this dialogue and like a community that's talking with one another about this and understanding there's maybe a different pathway forward has been really profoundly impactful for us, for sure.
Nice. Well, Eric and Gus, you guys are, one of the originals of this. When Abstrax came to you guys 2.5 years ago, probably now, saying they wanted to kind of do something like this, what was your thought process then, and how's it changed after being able to win this for 2 years in a row?
I think just getting on the journey of making a terpene infused beverage is where we really kind of got started. I think 3-4 years ago there was a lot of different terpene products on the market. There's a few terpene forward beers. Maybe they come out during 420 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we had like all the sample kits. I remember mentioning to Gus that I just kind of had this idea of a innovative beverage that would showcase cannabis forward terpene flavors. And Yeah, we just kind of ran with it. It was, I think, originally going to be a seltzer line, but we actually came into what is now Skyflowers, which is a hazy pale ale range brand family built up of 3 different flavors: tropical, berry, and citrus. And yeah, I mean, cannabis flavors and hops, they're very similar. There's a lot of synergy opportunities to have that in the final product. And I mean, cannabis is legal in Montana, so that's something the whole team was very excited about. And yeah, really started just kind of dosing them into kegs and then kind of just dialing in the whole final vision as well. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around. What was the second part of the question?
Or no, I think it was just a journey question and how you got the Abstrax. I think the quality of their product is really what stood out, and there's no cannabis in the beer, THC or anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ross, but I hope not. and so just to mimic that in a way that's just kind of intriguing to the drinker. It's a funny story. Originally I wanted the beer to be called Curious Spark, and then I don't know how what was the brewery? Allagash found out, but I must have put it on or whatever. But I got a cease and desist from their lawyers almost immediately. Is it because they have a beer called Curiosa? And I was like, really? But anyways, I had Skyflowers name bank from a long time ago, and I thought that was fun too because flowers, cannabis, flower. But it's just fun to kind of bring together that with the artwork and the experimentation and just the trying the different things that Abstrax has out there that are water soluble. We just found that the quality was so good because all similar stuff has been out there for years and years. It just hasn't been that good.
And I guess the second part was what kind of expecting coming into the next Skunkworks.
Right. Like, what are you guys looking at? I mean, can you show your hand yet, or are you waiting for the official release?
I won't reveal everything, but at least, I mean, again, just to piggyback on what Gus was saying with the quality of the Abstrax products, like the whole different lines of the hop products, the Quantum, the Sky Farm, the Brew Gas series. The quality is absolutely outstanding. And what's really cool is you can have that as kind of the star of the show. You can have it as a blending component, a top note, or just kind of an extra layer. And it can kind of be more noticeable or in the background as, just a tool to make the beer pop a little bit more. So I think for us, we've definitely dialed in those formulations of the Sky Farms brand family. And we're really just doing little tweaks on there, see how we can best adjust our processes and kind of the overall formulation, which hops are going to really work well in a synergetic way with these terpenes. Are we really nailing our dosage rates? And I definitely can speak to that. Your yield when using this, a few barrels this way or that way, or the terpenes that you're putting in, the ounces a few ways one way or the other, is definitely going to change the product significantly. So really fine-tuning that and trying to get these other elements of the beer to like really pop and be cohesive and just be fun, make them like fun to try. And ideally it's kind of a beer. These Skyflower beers are kind of almost changing as they're opening up and you're enjoying the beer as well. And I think just having the Abstrax in there really helps facilitate that drinking experience. But yeah, for next year, I won't reveal everything, but it's the Skunkworks. We're going cannabis forward in the flavor profile. We're going big. It's gonna really pop, is what we're hoping for in the final product, and we're hoping people really dig it and are surprised and also enjoy the drinkability of it.
Well, when it comes to the different products that you guys have available, and where have you found the cost, whether it's cost savings or even barrelage savings for you guys, being able to, like you said, you're adding something and it's not really taking away from volume. Is that some of the things that you guys really appreciated about, along with the artistry that it can bring?
Oh, definitely. I mean, aside from kind of like a brew gas series forward product, which would be Skyflowers, we're just starting now to really get into experimentation with the hop products that they have available. And I mean, over just like the last few weeks, we're starting to see our costs go down per case, per keg. But it's really a lot of experimentation. I would encourage other brewers to really think outside the box on how you can add this product to your beer. What is the flavor profile that you're going for at the end? Is that star of the show? Is it kind of just an amplifier? Yeah, we're working on putting these in some of our flagship products in like 30 barrel batches. We've worked on decreasing the total hop load by 22 pounds. And yeah, really just some goals that I've had since I started here is bring the costs down and bring the quality up and just make that final product have that wow factor.
And Ross, you obviously, you're at a smile on your face when you're hearing this, because that's exactly what Abstrax is trying to do and trying to connect with breweries, because there are those different types of savings, or volume savings especially.
Yeah, I mean, to be as transparent as I can, very early on in our journey, we realized that the method through which we were processing hops was very novel, and that there were a number of value add features to it. So we had approached um, a legacy hop grower, merchant, extractor with the technology and said, like, this might be something you would be interested in. And long story short, we learned that the actual value add would be empowering the entire market, every brewer in the world, to have access to advanced products that are either available off the shelf or could be tailor made from the hops that they already own. And I think one of the things that's really special about that is, as for a brewer, is that you get to, like, you get extra. So when you send us something to extract on our worst day and kind of the lowest oil content hop, if you give me 1 pound of hops, I will give you back 5 pounds of liquid equivalent. So you automatically get some wiggle room with your experimentation and your ability to kind of fall on your face or not and figure out where that plays, right? And then you start building that in using your hops, which are the ones that you already selected for the qualities and characteristics that you did. You're already using them in the beers that you are. It maintains that consistency, but it completely magically, like Eric's saying, like, you watch your cost per case come down because your cost in use is lower than it ever could be using just hops. And it's really cool too when we do that processing. Like, it's just like breaking down an animal. There's all kinds of different products that come off of that, and they can go lots of different directions in the brewing process. So it's been pretty cool. Like, Eric encouraged everybody listening to experiment. That's what we say too. Like, remember very early on, people say, "Is this like for? Do we put this hot side?" So we don't recommend it, but I know somebody is going to, and they do for sure, and that's awesome. And if they like what comes out the other side, and that's art to them, and that's good, then, like, I am not here to judge art. Like I said, we're here to just empower folks, and like what we are seeing repeatedly, particularly with the folks that are toll processing with us, is huge cost savings. And like, part of the reason I was smirking over here is, like, we haven't talked inside baseball like this, because for our relationship, my relationship with Mountains Walking, I want that for them, but that's not what we discuss when we discuss the metrics of this product. So again, hearing that that's like a byproduct of it is the best. So if we can continue to do that for as long as possible, we're doing great.
Well, the website is abstracthops.com for those that are looking to check things out. Uh, Skunkworks, looking forward to it. I'll run through those dates again. Right now, registration is open until December 15th. The Untappd listing for those wild cards will start December 20th, and then public voting going to start up on January 13th, going through February 15th. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy seeing the battles here, the tournament style, and more importantly, getting to try the beers when we get to CBC in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it will be fun to follow along. So I will say, stay tuned. Check into the Instagram particularly, and at Skunkworks Lounge on Instagram as well. For about the past 2 months, I've been visiting every one of the breweries participating in this year's Skunkworks, doing interviews with them, shooting content, talking to them about their art and artistry and means of conveyance and what they're doing for the Skunkworks. And 20 of those will be releasing over the next 20 weeks in the lead up with judging scores for all the beers, and it should be fun to play along. And you guys can watch me come apart at the seams from just traveling for 3 months in a row. So,
well, I appreciate you taking your time today to be able to talk with us about this. Eric and Gus, thanks so much for taking some time out of the day as well, and good luck, going for the three-peat.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us again.